trending. Catch up with the latest in sports and immerse yourself in the latest buzz from the world of music and movies. Your weekends are no longer just days off, but moments packed with knowledge, excitement, and enjoyment. TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, only on TVC News.
Senator Benga Daniel hails President Tinubu and National Assembly as the President signs Southwest and South-South Commission bills into law. And later on the show, Petron hails federal government and NNPCL as Port Harcourt Refinery hits 180-day non-stop operation. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju. And our head of news is also right here. Executive editor head of news also right here. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. An American lawyer and judge, Porter Stewart, once said, ethics is knowing the difference between what you have a right to do and what is right to do. The legal profession in Nigeria has come under scrutiny once again, and there are calls to check the excesses of lawyers and ethical misconduct. At the maiden annual lecture of the body of benches and the presentation of the report of the direction of the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee in Abuja, a former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, emphasized the urgent need to arrest ethical misconduct that has crept into the legal profession. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, also raised concern that strict adherence to ethical principles in the legal profession is facing serious challenges. Okay, BK, talking about the legal profession, lawyers, judges, and all that. But let's start with lawyers first, because, what do we blame for the rising cases of misconduct among lawyers?
First and foremost, we've got to admit that lawyers or judicial officers, speaking in broader terms now,
Yes.
Don't live in isolation. They are part and parcel of our country. And we all know that we have a terribly corrupt system. So if in Nigeria our system is very corrupt, then we should not expect that lawyers will be Puritans. They are part and parcel of the system that we all know is manifestly corrupt. So we do not expect that lawyers and legal practitioners generally would be behaving like people who exist in heaven. So every profession has its own self-regulatory and disciplinary framework that regulates the conduct of practitioners.
Okay.
The legal profession in Nigeria is governed by laws, but most of the time these laws are not adhered to, not because these rules are not there, not because the rules are not there, but because a lot of the lawyers and even judges have chosen to simply brush aside the rules and the sanctions prescribed by the regulatory framework that is in place. What Fashola wants to see, former Governor Fashola, is for lawyers who had been known to demonstrate aberrant conduct to not get into the inner bar. But the truth is, a lot of these people start misbehaving once they have attained the rank of a silk.
Okay.
Yes. Once some of these guys have become senior advocate of Nigeria, you start seeing them demonstrate unwholesome conduct that were not known to them. Maybe they believe that having entered the inner bar, they are superior to other lawyers, and therefore they start exhibiting some irresponsible conduct, like insulting judges within the four walls of a court, like even disclosing information, critical information about their clients to the adversary for pecuniary gain.
Really?
Yes. There are so many things that these judges do.
Terrible.
Sometimes judges are not supposed to, for example, advertise, for cases. But I said judges, lawyers are not supposed to advertise, for cases, especially criminal cases. But in Nigeria, we see lawyers pushing to be given certain cases. And we've seen even senior lawyers and junior lawyers clash as a result of this. Some of them, when they are chasing elevation to the inner bar, they even go as far as walking up to public servants working in the judiciary to buy criminal cases.
To shop for cases,
yes,
just to get to that
elevated status. So, and if you embezzle clients' money, there are lawyers who embezzle clients' money. If you embezzle clients' money, we all know that this is wrong. A lawyer is supposed to behave in a very responsible fashion. He has an obligation to his colleagues and to judges. And you must respect your colleague. You must respect the judges. But we don't see that. We see lawyers disrespect their colleagues, believing that nothing will happen. When lawyers shop for cases, sometimes they tell the client that, look, I know judges. I know judges, don't worry, let me have this case. Of course, if you tell a client that, you know judges, that means you can facilitate victory. It's most likely to switch in your direction. Sure. These are things that lawyers, I don't know why I keep mentioning judges. I know the day of the judges will come.
We'll talk about it.
But today we are talking about lawyers. And I'm saying, look, I appreciate what former Governor Fashola said, that don't allow the bad lawyers to get into the inner bar. Good suggestion. But how much of investigation is done by the regulator before people are elevated to the rank of son? Okay. They will be waiting for the public to do petitions to say all kinds of that will help them to discover whether somebody is good enough to be elevated or not. No. On their own, they have to do due diligence. So I agree that they need to do due diligence before people get into the inner bar. But I'm also saying that there are some of them that you would never have had any untoward stories about them until they get elevated. Once they get elevated, they see themselves as belonging to the rarefied class. And you start seeing some of these terrible conducts that we keep talking about. Indiscipline, stealing clients' money, advising clients to disobey court order. Lawyers, they know I'm saying the truth about them. They sometimes will advise their client not to obey court order. And there are so many other things that they do. I still believe that the regulatory bodies need to do a lot more. Punish them promptly. And even the NJC is guilty of not also punishing judges and other judicial officers promptly. They need to do, once lawyers know that no time will be wasted to fish them out and punish them appropriately, we will start seeing good behavior on show. But for now, it takes a long time before they even fish out these aberrant lawyers and punishing them.
All right, Kaide, I want your thoughts on this. Talk about why do we have this rising cases of misconduct among lawyers. And also, another thing the former governor said, he asked the body of benchers that when will they be fair to remove all of these unsuitable persons and characters before they bring dishonor to the profession.
You see, okay, maybe what BKO has done is to give us a broad view of the level of unethical practices that we see in the profession, and so that it's not misunderstood.
Okay.
I think one thing is clear. Fashola is a lawyer. The CGM who was also there is a lawyer. So she's a judge. But what we're trying to say is that it's not all lawyers. But for those who are spoiling the name until something drastic, something very, very serious is done, we may not have a headway. Having said that, I'd like to start from this angle. You know, I was watching Journalist Hangout a few days ago, and you know, my wife was with me at home. I was on leave, and my wife is an HR professional, and she listened to that kind of comment that was made about BKO in another station. And the first thing is, do you guys have ethics in your profession? In fact, I pretended as if I didn't hear her. But that was a big slap on me as a person who is always putting out truth. We have ethics, we respect seniority, we know how we talk to ourselves. But, you know, so when I listened to their comment, because she was listening with me, and it was like, no, now, you guys should do something serious. This is beyond just talking about it on TV. This is to say that unethical practice is unethical practice. It's a profession. And it must be respected. That's why there are rules, there are regulations that must be talked about. One critical thing Fashola mentioned is this idea of television lawyers. He calls them television lawyers. These are people
who go to different
who have no respect.
Exactly.
You know, you remember, I'm sorry, I don't want to mention his name because he's a friend of the house. Somebody has been put to jail for unsavory comments like that in court, a lawyer.
Really?
Just because they had to tell him that you're not on TV.
Yes.
There are rules in this house. There are ways things must be done.
Sent him to jail.
Do you understand? So you see a lot of people pandering. They want to have views. They want to have numbers. They want to have gullible clients who will rush to them that, man, you need to listen to that lawyer. You understand what I'm saying? So let's respect this legal profession. It is called, you know, they are like this, the saving grace of our democracy. And it must be kept seriously. There's no democracy without the rule of law. And so everything should be done to respect the profession. You listen to his son who has argued case, explain things to you, give you the background, and the next thing you will hear is, oh, you come on TV and denigrate such senior people. So I just feel that Fashola is pained. If you look at the CJN in that lecture too, she was also angry. In fact, I read some of the comments she wrote down, and it was painful. And even the VP had to say, judiciary, don't be swayed, don't be intimidated by these television lawyers. So and I think it's also a wake-up call to us as a profession. He's one of the seniors.
Now, BK was still talking about being fair. What do you think the profession should do or be seen doing, you know, to make this issue of discipline, so that it won't be as if they be like a dog that can bark or can't bite?
Yes, as I said earlier, the legal profession has failed in terms of ensuring self-regulation and implementing the disciplinary framework that have been put in place, you know, to ensure that lawyers behave themselves at all times. The legal practitioner rules of professional conduct is there, and it has elaborate provisions, you know, that deals with aberrant conduct of legal practitioners and how and what would happen if you did this, if you did that. But these rules are consistently breached. They are observed in the breach, and these lawyers get away with it. For example, lawyers filing ridiculous cases before our courts. I remember a lawyer who moved from the southeast to go and file a case
Maybe Jigawa.
in Breeding Kudu.
Okay.
No, that's the local government of Sule Lamido. He went as, and he knew that, look, it was a waste of time. Because, look, a case that didn't emanate from Jigawa emanated
from the
southeast.
And you take it far north.
Anambra State, to be precise. You then go all the way to the northwest to go and institute a case. All they after is take money from the client, deceive the client. Such behaviors are not what we want to see.
Do you think maybe the penalties are not strong enough? Like a name and shame or something?
The thing is the slow pace of administering justice.
Oh,
that is the problem. I mean, are you going to say the NJC, for example, has not got the power to back and bite? Of course, it has got the power to back and bite. But we do not often see them bite. That is the problem. You want to punish a judge who put the profession to shame. You got a petition. For months, you did not do anything about that petition. Until that judge left the service. You now released a judgment after he had left the service. Well, of course, the judge even still took them to court. Yes. There was another one immediately after he retired. You know, after he quit unceremoniously. We then saw punishment being meted out to him. I said, what's going on? You should have done this before he left. If you did that, we will see clearly that you are trying to deal with corruption within the system. But that's not what we see. It's not like, go and check. It's not as if there are no regulations. It's not as if the stipulations are not clear. But the reluctance to apply the rules, to apply the punishments stipulated in this the body of rules meant to govern the conduct of lawyers is the slow pace of administration of justice.
So
that is the problem for me.
To speed it up, where should it start from? Should the CJN champion this? The body of benches champion this? The NBA? Who should champion this?
Yeah, and
the speedy administration.
Definitely the NJC is the key body here. And the body of ventures where Fashola was addressing is also telling them you need to bite. People cannot be discussing a case in court on TV and be postulating. Even some of the lawyers who are going to be in court are already discussing it on TV. These are simple, cases, simple rules.
Exactly.
That's the way we learn from in this job, that we can't discuss the issue. You only mention what happens in court. When you go into analysis and begin to do all those things, even as lawyers, you're supposed to refrain yourself. So these are issues that Fashola is saying that, hey, when I was in this branch, this parish, this is...
We are not doing this.
We're not doing this. And he's still alive, so you can't imagine.
And the thing is, they even lie.
The
lawyer knows that this is black. He knows that this is black.
Okay, they tell the client something else. Just
so they come on air to lie.
They come
on air to lie.
And it's deliberate.
They come on air to lie. This is it. They know what they are doing. The court gives a judgment. They will now go and twist the judgment with the desire to fool the Nigerian people. We see them. I don't know where these lawyers came from. Whose goal is simply to come, judgment. Yes, who go to TV stations, who go to talk to newspaper editors and lie and misinterpret. Justice Amobeda of the Federal High Court in Kano, he said, if any of you misinterprets my judgment, he was reading judgment. Before then, he warned them. He said, if any of you misinterprets my judgment, I will send you to jail. There's only one journalist that I know in this country who interprets court cases competently, and that is Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Justice Amobeda of the Federal High Court in Kano.
All right,
that's
gentlemen.
what happened.
We have Pastor Emmanuel calling in from Rivers State. Pastor Samuel, let's talk. Pastor Samuel, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Let's talk. Oh, I'm so sorry. Try and call us back. Try and call us back. The audio is bad. Because in bringing a turnaround, okay, because just like what I asked,
people have no reason to misinterpret court judgments. At best, you can wait for the certified true copy of the judgment
to come out.
That's why I mentioned Justice Amobeda. It can be painful if a judge gives a judgment. Everybody can see what happened. And then journalists go to twist the judgment. And Justice Amobeda said, no, I'm not going to take he warned them that if any of you misinterprets my judgment, I'm sending you to jail. He warned them in open court. And then said, do you people not listen to that journalist, Babajide Kolade Otitoju? Look at the way he interprets court judgments. I felt honored when our correspondent, Ibrahim Issa, told me that this was what a judge said in open court about you. That no judge had ever done that about a Nigerian journalist. I felt proud. Because we always tell them that, look, there's no point misleading the viewers. There's no point misleading. You know that you are lying. All your years are years of waste as a professional. If you come to a TV station with the desire to mislead Nigerians, such lawyers, whether they are junior or senior, they deserve to be reprimanded.
Exactly.
So that they don't continue feeding people with a diet of lies and misinformation.
Absolutely. All right, we have Ezenwa calling in from Enugu. Ezenwa, let's talk.
Okay. I want to commend TVC, especially Babajide Kolade Otitoju and his team. I really want to commend Fashola for what he said. What he said is timely, and it is clear for everybody to see.
Yes.
But it's not peculiar to lawyers and judges. I think there is a general indiscipline in this country. Recently, the Police Service Commission invalidated a court of appeal judgment, and retired policemen, and they are back to court. You see, we have taken this culture of doing the wrong thing and asking people to go to court. I really want to beg Nigeria. Let us not destroy our country. Let us be disciplined. Legal profession is a highly disciplined profession. The lawyers, I just heard what Babajide said. The lawyer to move from the east to the far north that he clearly know that that court lacks jurisdiction. It is very shameful, and let me tell you, it is distressing that you wake up every day, you'll be hearing one indiscipline here, one indiscipline there. Thank you very much, Evie.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you very much.
There is something that lawyers do in our country, especially senior lawyers, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
What's that?
Senior lawyers serving as conduits to funnel money to judges. Because these judges cannot access litigants. It's not easy for a judge high up there to access litigants. It's still lawyers that help funnel money to corrupt judges.
That's embarrassing.
This is what is happening. People like Fashola may not have gone up to that extent, but it is our job as journalists to speak the truth.
Exactly.
No matter whose ox is God.
Absolutely.
So this is happening. funneling money to judges.
And it needs to stop.
It has to stop.
It needs to stop.
I once spoke about a lawyer who saw a judge at a funeral and started abusing the judge, the senior judge. And they told him, I said, why? Why are you abusing an elderly man like this? He said, an elderly man that has no shame, an elderly man with zero integrity, why won't I abuse him?
Because they
Because
know.
the judge took money directly from
the
his
litigant.
client.
Oh, really?
Wow.
And at the end of the day, once the judge has been settled, the client does not feel any need to pay the legal fees,
lawyer, exactly.
to pay the professional fees of the lawyer.
So is
Let's
let's,
let's just leave this
Let's
matter.
just leave it that
Let's
way.
leave this
Okay?
matter.
We need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere.
Coleman wires and cable. Great quality. Now with the new look.
All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have BKO right here and Kaidi Ladevdi. So let's move straight to our next conversation. Despite the prediction of the signing of the Southwest Development Commission and the South-South Development Commission bills into law by President Bola Tinubu graced the headlines. The senator representing Ogun East and former governor of Ogun State, Benga Daniel, expressed more elation when he congratulated Southwest lawmakers for their relentless efforts in securing the passage of the bill. Senator Daniel said he is optimistic that the Southwest Development Commission will accelerate economic growth, improve infrastructure, and create more opportunities for the people of the geopolitical zone. He described the move as a milestone in the current administration's efforts to promote regional development. Okay, BKO. Now, you see Senator Benga Daniel, the one we call OGD, hailing the president, for signing into law the Southwest and the South-South Development Commission. But talk to me. South-South. Now, talk to what's the importance of this bill that the president just gave us?
Well, the way the president is thinking, the way the federal lawmakers are thinking, these development commissions will ensure rapid development, especially at the grassroots level. They will identify communities that need to be helped, and with the funding that they have, they'll be able to intervene in key areas where, for example, there is ecological damage to the environment. They can intervene. We've seen them do that in the Niger Delta. So if we look at some of the positive developments that have come to the Niger Delta area as a result of the Niger Delta Development Commission, we can imagine that it can be created in the Southwest as well. Is, in my view, it's possible for development to be cascaded to the grassroots level with these commissions in place. And a state government cannot do everything. You look at Ogun State, for example.
Okay.
despite all of the work that the current governor has done in terms of roads,
Yeah, exactly.
people criticize him a lot, but the governor's aides have always said that no governor in Ogun State history has built more roads than Prince Dapo Abiodun. And in my backyard in Akute, I can testify to what is happening.
Even the roads in my area in Abeokuta,
I
I was
live in
surprised.
Yes, I can testify.
Elega,
You know?
Shaje, I saw
So
it.
now, look at Ajuwon Road, for example. Ajuwon. It's been done, taken to Akute, taken to the bus stop.
Yes,
That road had been terrible for years.
I know.
That road had damaged people's cars for years.
Exactly.
Especially in front of Access Bank. The gully in front of Access Bank actually damaged my own car.
Oh dear.
But today, the road is smooth. In fact, people are saying, they need to put some speed bumps now because these Okada riders will start killing themselves. Don't forget that from Akute is also done another road linking us to Ojodo Abiodun,
Okay.
terminating at Ojodo Abiodun. It takes just 9 minutes from Akute, bus stop to Ojodo Abiodun now.
Before, how many hours?
You can't even, because it was so bad. Maybe like 4 times that time that it takes now. I'm just using that as an illustration.
Yeah, I know.
And you look at a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of Ogun State communities lack good roads. A lot of Ogun State communities lack piped water. If we have a situation, we have the Southwest Development, they can determine areas that need intervention. And I also want to believe that even in the area of security, Don, for example, has been doing his best to ensure that the Southwest region is better secured. Now with the commission coming in place, they can work with Don, they can work with the governors of the 6 states of the Southwest. And know where intervention is critical.
Okay.
So we see that under the leadership of Dr. Sam Ogbuku of the NDDC, we have seen a lot of work being done. Unprecedented development. And in my view, this can be replicated in other regions across the South-South. I like the fact that in spite of the NDDC being in place, NDDC, they come in place an act of parliament. In fact, in the history of Nigeria, from 1999, no president has ever had his veto overturned. But Obasanjo's veto, the National Assembly decided to override Obasanjo's veto to set up the NDDC. That's the only time a Nigerian president was subjected to that humiliation, the real sense of the word. They decided to override his veto. No other president suffered that level of ignominy. And we have NDDC in place. So the president did not scrap the NDDC, but he decided to set up the South-South Development Commission because at that time, people like Baba Edwin Clark, they rose up, they thought
they were going to
move.
exactly.
And the NDDC was doing a good job. Yes, you can say it's been a cesspool of corruption for years.
Yeah, there's no sort of
Yes,
controversies.
but we are seeing these days an NDDC that is not transactional like
before.
Previous management of the NDDC. And I was happy when I heard the president commend Dr. Sam Ogbuku for the work that he's doing. We are going to have our own Sam Ogbuku in the Southwest, who will also bring development closer and closer to the grassroots. Some of what is present, look at Ondo State, for example. Look at what climate change is doing to our people in Ayetoro. They are losing, the Atlantic is taking over people's homes. So the people there in Ayetoro, they need to be assisted.
Okay.
They need to be assisted. And how do we do that? We have to find a way. Funding, once funding comes through the NDDC, I mean through the Southwest Development Commission, they can address some of those key, yes,
okay,
and each state will benefit.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Kaide, looking at this beautiful one, but some might want to argue that the commissions may be competing with existing agencies, like the NDDC, like the state government. Now, the question is, how do we ensure that these commissions make real impact instead of duplication? Some might say, oh, is it duplication?
Okay.
How do we ensure that they make
You
real
see,
impact?
good. The president has given a right context to even tell us how much we have seen from NDDC.
Yes.
Not forgetting the fact that it has to be fair to all. It has to be equal to all. Every region deserves this development commission. I was privileged to go on a tour with the Northeast Development Commission, and I was shocked. In fact, I was telling them that this development has been terribly underreported.
Yes.
You understand?
A lot of
I was seeing roads, I was seeing schools, I was like, this is not the Meduguri that has been painted. And the media over the years, there's a massive development. And luckily we had people from Adamawa, from Yobe, who also came to tell us how much of work is going on. This is a subtle, you know, Tinubu is a master strategist, you know.
Yes.
This is a subtle way of doing devolution of power, because we can't go back to regional government. Sorry, I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. The idea of regional government that we had in the 60s is never going to happen, because governors definitely want to be in charge. I've listened to politicians who told me that they cannot go to Ibadan again and be taking directive, you know, as a regional headquarter. But this is about development. It's not about politics. It's about what affects everyone. So, and you see the likes of Benga Daniel now, who was a governor, who was calling on the president to come to his intervention in his state.
Yes.
And the president was saying, I'm a president of all, I won't have time. But when there's a structure in place, like the Southwest Development Commission, the development is budgeted for. These things are already in the plan. So it is not about how much power you control as a governor. It is about how much development comes to your state.
Now, another thing is for it not to be like the NDDC of old, where there were scandals, corruption. What do you think should be done differently to prevent
We had a lawmaker on the station yesterday, and we also asked the same question. And one of the things he said is that the National Assembly also is part of their oversight function. They are monitoring what they are doing. And definitely they're also going to have a say. That's why they are so excited, you know, in pushing this kind of bills. Because for them, it is about, how do I go back to my people? You understand? And say that you were there for 4 years, we cannot feel the federal presence.
Okay.
This is a conduit. This is a channel for this development to come closer to
the
them.
people.
Because the governor will tell you, this is a federal road, this is something. And how many roads can federal government remember to do?
Yes.
But with this commission, vis-a-vis the Minister of Works and all that, because it's about development. That's what people want to see. Some of us have traveled out and we are saying, how can we ever achieve this height?
Exactly.
And all we need is this kind of thinking. And I think it's a welcome development.
All right, BK, to round it up, what do you think can be done differently, just so that it won't also be a cesspool of corruption or something? What can be done differently this time?
No, there has to be accountability.
Okay, BK, just hold that thought. We have Alaba calling from Lagos. Alaba, let's talk.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Hello?
Alaba, we're with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me right?
Yeah.
My name is Alaba Alape from Ojo in Lagos. I want to congratulate the president for what he has done. And when you see the way he did it, I love the way he even placed the Southwest on towards the end. You know, if all of us did the Northwest, another region, now place the South and the South. So it's a good job. But I want to appeal to the president. anybody that the president wants to put into the Southwest Commission, it should be the person that people will know. So the president that will steer the. It should be the president that will be corruption free, because through this commission, a lot of corruption conduit pipe is going through this means. So anybody that want to head this thing must be corruption free. However, I want to appeal to them as well. Education should be the top priority in the Southwest, because we, the Southwesterners, we love education. So education should be the top priority, so that our unborn generation can have good things to bear. Good evening.
Absolutely. All right, Vikil.
Yes, there has to be accountability, and I think as much as possible, civil society organizations with a good record of integrity should be brought on board to even scrutinize projects and ensure that projects are delivered in good time. You know, so once you set out, you show the world that you are for accountability. You don't want to do things the way they were done in the past. I think we'll begin to see a marked change in the way these commissions are run. I want to believe that there's so much work to do, and once the bureaucratic part of the work is done, they must hit the ground running, and there's so much work. In many of the states, the governors can't do everything.
Sure.
What kind of budget would you have? Even Lagos, when you visit some parts of Lagos, especially Ikorodu, some parts of Ikorodu, you see clearly that development has not reached them.
That's true.
There are some places without roads, terrible places.
Ikorodu.
You know, in Ikorodu, yes, some distant places. You know, so now those places need development brought to them. All of the people speaking, all Jews or all of them, they are saying, look, this thing will bring development closer and closer to the grassroots, and the impact of government will be felt. So this is what we want to see. But there must be transparency in the award of contracts. You must allow people to bid.
Very key.
Bid for contracts. Competitive bidding must happen.
This
idea of people
just
yes, published in newspapers. You know, the era of simply giving contract to your friends should be a thing of the past.
Absolutely. All right, let's move straight to our third and final conversation. Now, despite the prediction of doom on operations of the Port Harcourt Refinery, the facility has defied all odds to continue to run since its resumption. As such, the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petroan, has commended the federal government and the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, for running the revamped refinery for 180 days non-stop. The Publicity Secretary of Petroan, Joseph Obele, commended the professionalism and expertise involved in delivering a world-class rehabilitation project. All right, I'll start with you, Kaidi, because if you remember, October last year, this refinery was commissioned and has been running continuously for 180 days. But this is, in fact, a remarkable feat that underscores effectiveness, isn't it?
I wish I could find a stronger word.
Oh, stronger!
You know, because there were a lot of doom. There were a lot of prophets of doom who said that, pardon my local parlance, not today, you know, because you won't also blame them, you know, for something that there is no government, there is no administration that didn't promise of revamping these refineries, you know. Some have said, oh, in their campaigns is always one of the strongest things they mention, because there's no how you won't talk about oil and gas industry, and everybody's always talking about the refinery. So having something that has been moribund for 20 years and you fix it and you are now talking about 6 months non-stop, it's in order to celebrate this victory. It's in order to celebrate 1 year. It's in order to celebrate this milestone. It is a milestone. It is something that is just to tell us that it is about what's the word now? The political
The
will,
political will.
to do things right. The political will to say that, hey, I want to make a difference. I don't want to believe all that has been said. Just like some will tell you, we're going to have uninterrupted power supply. You know, I noticed that a lot of people were careful not to even make that promise this time around because they've also been scared on what should be done. However, there are many alternative sources of energy that people should be looking into.
True.
So on this, I think this is not one of those sycophants. This is not one of those things that you say, oh, they are trying to, you know, curry favor from the government. Government should be celebrated. NNPCL should be celebrated. And we're enjoying the competition from Dangote. You know, it's just to say that the oil industry has really experienced the true sense of deregulation. And it's a good one for us.
It's a good one. But BKO, there were doubters when the refinery kicked off. And there are those who still doubt that, hey, the refinery is still not working. You know? What else do they need to believe that, hey, the refineries are working?
Look, when they were doubting that that refinery had begun to work, they took the NLC president there.
Yeah, I remember.
For the people who are always unhappy about good developments in our country, even if you take their father to go and see what has happened, they will still not believe. I said there was a woman that I used to respect, because it doesn't take so long to stop respecting some people in Nigeria. She published a picture of the Port Harcourt refinery burning. And after they said this didn't happen, you know, and under her post, people already say, oh, that's the refinery that they said they spent so much money. They are trying to recover fraud that they have committed. And all that nonsense. And some people now said, no, this thing is not true. He said, what are you telling me? Even the refinery authorities have confirmed that there was fire. I said, sure. So it is this bad. And a lot of these things are related to the 2023 election. So people have chosen not to heal. Just because the person that they didn't expect to see win the election has won the election. But you can't continue to agonize over an election that was decided a long time ago. Prepare for the next election. Do your best to get him out of the way. Since his presence there is an eternal anger for you. But you cannot say that, okay, look, for 20 years, that refinery was not working. It starts working, and yes, some people are still saying, no, that is a lie. It's a lie. It's not working, and what they are doing, they are bringing product to the place.
Wow.
And then products that they bring, they just truck it out.
Wow.
With the articulated vehicles. Really? Well, even after the NSC president and the one with the bushy hair, what's his name?
TVC.
Yes,
they went there.
Society
so
of
who else can
And these are strong critics.
I don't know. These are people, if you do not now believe these people, so whom will you believe? It's not a question of even that they don't want to believe. They are not just happy that good things happen in our country. There are many like that. Even elderly people.
Why do we
shameless
have
elderly people who eternally agonize over good things happening in our country? How can you hate your country? You see, and I tell people, Bola Tinubu is president today. He can't be president tomorrow. He can't be president forever. At some point, he will leave. You can't hate your country because of an individual.
Exactly.
You are now wired to hate your country because Bola Tinubu is the president. Something is wrong with you now. Because Bola Tinubu will not be there forever. Your children won't have another country. So if good things happen and it gives you
a sense of
so
pride.
much pain,
okay,
that means you should be checked.
that means your head needs to be examined. I mean, you are saying no. That they said no, it has not happened. Okay, Warri Refinery, that one too is not working, Abi. Now, Petroan, they are the retailers of petroleum products. This is an umbrella body of retailers of petroleum products. And they are saying, we are happy to buy diesel. We've been buying diesel from this refinery. We've been buying kerosene from this refinery. And the fact that this refinery is working has ensured that adulterated kerosene, which was prevalent before now, is no longer the case. No more adulterated kerosene. Supply of petroleum products is assured. We wanted to see a day when these refineries will work. Now the refineries have begun to work. All we can ask for is that, okay, Port Harcourt refinery, it has 2 units.
Exactly.
Fix the second unit as well. This is the challenge that I will give them. Yes, fix the second. You can challenge them that they've not fixed the second unit, but you cannot pretend that it's not working. They brought people to come and see that it's working. And those people came back to say, yes, indeed it's working. I think they even tried to bring President Obasanjo too. Former President Obasanjo. Yes. They tried to bring President Obasanjo because he too joined the pessimistic crowd.
Did he turn down the invitation?
Now they said it's an insult to say what is an insult. If you do not believe that person is working, if you do not believe, it's not an insult, it's just an attempt to run away from facing reality. If you said the place was not working and they say, okay, come and see. Okay. What is the insult? Maybe you are the one who said it's not working. All right. Because during your time, you were unable to fix it.
And
you were unable to fix it and you continue to waste money. Now, another
less than 2 years.
Person has fixed it, is working, but it gives you eternal pain. The kind of pain that you need a drug called Sosagon to heal. You need it.
You're not a pharmacist, but
I never heard that word. Eternal pain.
Ask pharmacists about a drug called Sosagon. The worst pain that you get, they will give you Sosagon.
All right, we have Adewale Adetoro calling from Lagos. Adewale Adetoro, let's talk.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have said it immediately. President Tinubu won the presidential election that Nigeria will be bailed out of its problems. And I'm so sure, Nigerians are seeing it now, I'm so sure that at the first time, end of the first tenure of President Tinubu, Nigeria must have been transformed. It is very evident. All over the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, works are going on. And he has people, tested people all around him. Is it in the Ministry of Works? Is it in where Umai and when the man at Abuja, Wike, you can see transformation all over the places.
Yes.
And this bill that he has just signed now, this South and the Southwest,
South.
A lot of transformation will be coming from it. Yeah. It's just so good. We are lucky to have our man at the helm of affairs. And even agriculture. Look at the agreement that has just been signed with Brazil.
Yes.
That will easily transform Nigeria. It is going to take us back even beyond where we were in the 60s, when agriculture was one of the mainstays of Nigeria's economy.
Yes.
Even I couldn't believe what the Lagos State governor is doing in agriculture.
Thank you very much.
There is no land in Lagos State, but the governor is doing a lot in agriculture. That is Baba.
Thank you very much, Adewale. No, just like what BKO asked.
Somebody didn't fix a road during his presidency, or tar road, leading all the way to his own economic. He didn't fix it. He's complaining that they are doing coastal road.
Lagos Calabar.
How can anybody? You see, President Babangida told me that when he was fixing Abuja, they said, it's too expensive. Why are roads? There are roads that IBB built in Abuja that since more than 40 years, not a single pothole. Not a single pothole. Yes. Till today. When you do good roads, you won't see pothole. Look at Kudira Abiola Way here. Come and show me a single pothole there. Since year 2000.
And there were doubters when that road was
built. Yes.
There were doubters.
Yes. People granted interview that no, that road, that it will be washed away.
Give it 1 month. It
will be washed away. But the thing is, when we see development, we must appreciate it. And thank God for allowing us to see it in our time.
Absolutely.
Those who want to continue to agonize and do a lot of head banging on the wall, it is their problem.
Okay.
We cannot
All right,
help them. We
gentlemen.
can't help them.
Exactly. New word today. Internal pain.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. And that's all on Journalist Hangout this week. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangouts on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga Oreshegunfa for now, and God bless Nigeria.
Enjoy the delicious creamy goodness of cowbell. With Vitarich and vitamin B9, which supports brain development. Cowbell, so creamy, so good.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Do you have the fitness level you really want? Have you paid for gym membership and never gone again? Are you struggling with exercises that don't deliver results? Or do you find yourself spending hours in the gym with little to show for it? Traditional workouts can be boring and ineffective. You need a solution that combines efficiency, versatility, and delivers results. Introducing the SportsX Ultimate Total Crunch, the Super 6-in-1 exercise machine designed to elevate your fitness journey. Say goodbye to ineffective routines and hello to a workout that really works. With the SportsX Ultimate Total Crunch cutting-edge technology, you can change your body in just 15 minutes a day. Its enhanced features delivers a full-body workout that's efficient, effective, and enjoyable. With the Ultimate Total Crunch, you can achieve a full-body workout with its versatile 6-in-1 design right from your home. Sculpt your abs with the crunching feature and target your calves, thighs, glutes with the smooth stepping mode. Strengthen and tone your arms using the adjustable resistant bands of the arm exercise feature. Twist your way to a slimmer waistline with the innovative waist twister to engage your core muscles. Enhance your upper body strength with the built-in push-up bar, perfect for developing your chest, shoulders, and triceps. With the Ultimate Total Crunch, you can achieve your fitness goals effortlessly, all from the comfort of your home.
With SportsX Ultimate Crunch, my whole body works at the same time.
I love that I can do different exercises for different parts of my body to stretch my muscles.
Only Ultimate Crunch can put my whole body in motion. With the Ultimate Crunch, you can achieve your fitness goals effortlessly, all from the comfort of your own home.
The SportsX Ultimate Total Crunch is now available exclusively from ShopX TV. For a limited time, we're offering an exclusive flash sale with up to 23% off. Call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code to get the SportsX Ultimate Total Crunch just for 345,950 Naira only. That's a saving of over 100,000 Naira. And that's not all. Order now and you receive a pack of 3 Genie bras valued at 30,000 Naira. Absolutely free. You can get the SportsX Ultimate Total Crunch in 2 easy payments of just 172,975 Naira. That's right. Pay twice to win this amazing fitness solution. We'll also deliver the SportsX Ultimate Total Crunch to your door for free. But hurry up. This exclusive ShopX TV offer is available for a limited time only.
Proceeding is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labor Lens, we believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. On Labor Lens, I ensure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.